Dear students, through this lecture you are going to study about Java interfaces. So Java interface is a reference type in Java that is similar to class. What is the difference between a class and an interface is that in the class you have to use the keyword class for defining the class. Now for interfaces you are using the keyword interface. Another main important difference is that in all the methods that are defined inside the interface are of nature abstract. That means all the methods should be abstract. We couldn't include the body of an instance method inside the body of an interface. Okay, but an interface may contain constants, default methods, static methods, and nested types. If a method is default or static, you can include the method body inside the interface. Otherwise, you couldn't, because otherwise the method automatically will become abstract method. And if you are declaring or implementing an interface, you know that it's a collection of abstract methods. Since it's a collection of abstract methods, you couldn't directly execute that interface. You need the help of a class for implementing that interface. Okay, so a class implements an interface, thereby inheriting the abstract methods of the interface, and inside the class body we are giving the method body, and using the object of the class we can execute those methods. Okay, so writing an interface is similar to writing a class, but a class describes the attributes and behaviors of an object. That means the class is going to define the body of a particular abstract method defined inside the behavior, and it is going to execute the method. An interface contains behaviors that a class implements. That is explained. Unless a class that implements the interface is abstract, all the methods of an interface need to be defined inside the class. What is the meaning of the statement is that the class should not be an abstract class. Then only we can define all the method bodies inside the class and we can execute the methods. Okay, so that is actually interfaces. So which all are the things that are similar in classes and interface is that class and interface both may contain any number of methods. There is no restriction. We are saving the classes with the extension .java. Interfaces are also saved with the extension .java. Both the bytecodes will be saved with the extension .class. Okay. Now, which are the factors that makes an interface different from a class is that one and most important thing is that all the methods in an interface are abstract in nature. Second thing is an interface doesn't contain any constructor. We couldn't define any constructors inside the interface. Another important thing is that an interface cannot contain instance fields. Instance fields in the meaning is that it should not contain the body of the instance methods in methods. Okay. Now an interface is not extended by a class, it is implemented by a class. Because since the method body is not present inside the inside the interface, a class cannot extend from an interface. An interface can extend multiple interfaces, but a class can extend only one class. Okay, that is why multiple inheritance is not possible in using classes. So this is a relationship between inheritance and interfaces. There in interfaces you have already studied that you are using the keyword extends for inheriting a class from another class. Okay, so here also the same thing. If you are inheriting a class from another class, you have to use the keyword extends. Similarly, if you are going to inherit an interface from another interface, you have to use the same keyword extends. But if a class is inheriting from an interface, you have to use the keyword implements, because this class is going to implement all the methods, abstract methods that are defined inside the interface. That is why we are using the keyword implement. So class to class inheritance is extends, interface to interface inheritance is also using extends, but class to interface inheritance, for that you have to use the keyword implements. Okay, so what is the syntax of defining an interface? Here you have to use the keyword interface for defining an interface. So interface followed by interface name, and inside the interface body you can define the abstract methods as well as variables. Okay, so this is an example. The interface name is demo and I am making this as public. So what is the relevance of public? We will see in the next example. So inside this interface demo, I have defined three quantities. First one is a variable of type string hello. It is holding the value as hello, welcome to Java interfaces. Then I have defined two abstract methods, say hello and sum. Okay, so how we can implement this is, since this interface is defined as public, it cannot be a part of the main program. It should be a separate program or separate file that should be saved as demo.java. Why this demo comes here is the interface name is demo. Okay, now you have to open the second Java file. There you have to create the class that is going to implement this demo interface. So here you can see the keyword implements. So instead of extends, here you have to use implements. And using this class, we can call all the abstract methods declared inside the interface, and here you are giving the body of those methods, and using the object of the class we can implement or we can execute all the abstract methods that are declared inside the interface demo. So here the example, here in this example you have two .java files. One is having the interface and second one is an executable program that is having the class that is implementing this demo. Why you need two programs is that here you are making the interface as public. We can make this as one program if you are avoiding the keyword public from the interface definition. Okay, so that is a next example. Here I am not using public, I am making this interface as private thing. So the same interface I am using, I am having the variable hello which is of type string and two abstract methods, say hello and sum, similar to the last program. And the same program I am defining the main class that is implementing demo. The abstract class bodies are described inside the main class, and using the object of the main class I am implementing or I am running, I am executing the abstract methods say hello and sum. So here, since interface is not public and my class is public, I have to save this as main.java. Okay, since my class name is main. Another example is here, same thing. Interface demo is there, it is implementing and we are taking the output. So while studying inheritance, we have studied that we couldn't implement multiple inheritance using the inheritance property of Java, but that is possible with the help of interfaces. How it is possible is that if you want to implement multiple inheritance, multiple inheritance means a class inheriting from more than one parent class. So you have to make those multiple parent classes as interfaces. You know that you can extend one class using a class. Okay, if you have multiple classes, make one class as class and other classes as interfaces. For example, here I am defining two interfaces, father and mother. The class main is going to inherit from father and mother. Since father and mother both are interfaces, I can use the keyword implements, and using implements I can inherit from the interface father and mother. So here multiple inheritance is possible. This main class is going to inheriting from more than one parent class, father and mother. Okay, so since these are interfaces, methods are abstract, you have to define the methods inside the child class, and using the child class object I can implement the methods that are defined inside the interfaces. So this is one of the way of implementing multiple inheritance. Another way is that you can make one of the classes father, because we know that a class can extend a maximum of one class. So one parent class is made as class and other parent classes are made as interfaces. So how it can be, how the multiple inheritance is possible is that you can use the keyword extends for inheriting a class and implements for inheriting an interface. So in the last method, since both are interfaces, we are using implements. Since in this example one of the parent class is class, you have to use extends followed by implements. So remember, the order of writing is extends followed by implements. Okay, we couldn't write like implements followed by extends. That is wrong. Now here, since this is a class, the method is not abstract. but interface means method should be abstract, and that method body will be inside the subclass, and using the object of the subclass I can implement that. Okay, so this is another example. Here you have the interface in1, you have the final variable int a is equal to 10, and you have the default method. So default means since you are using the keyword default, automatically this method will become default, and since the method is default, I can write the body of the default method inside the interface. So if you need to write the body inside the interface itself, you can make the method as default. Okay, now in the similar way, you have to make one class implements from the interface, and use inside the main function using the object of the class, I can execute the method that is defined inside interface. So this is one of the way of including the body inside the interface itself by making the function as default. Okay, so that is the end of the session. Thank you.